Well, I was one day looking at people and I realised we're just a bit like floating brains. That's all we are.
Right.
We're just literally...
Expand.
Because you think about consciousness and it's all in the head, right? You don't have consciousness in your foot, for example. It's all in your brain, isn't it? So basically what they are is it's a floating brain and it's using these levers and legs and arms to get about.
What, you saying like Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? You think that's what the world's like? Is it Splinter or Shredder? You know, the one that's the little brain in the machine.
Oh, I can't remember.
Anyway, doesn't matter. But the little brain
Splinter's the wise rat.
Right, well, it's Shredder then, the one in the machine.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So you think...
when you start looking at people, like just next time you're in the street or, there's people about, just look at their floating brains. And you'll see a very animalistic kind of features towards us. Like we look like different beings. Or you watch someone eating, for example. Ever watch someone eating? Yeah. Just watch them eating, and they turn into these. Like you see the chimp, you see the chimpanzee in us. Yeah,
totally. Well, we are just fucking apes, innit?
We are just apes, but we're floating brains.
Floating brains. I think
because obviously we're floating because they're high up and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, not floating per se. Floating fluid.
Are we not also floating cocks and bollocks and vadges?
Yeah, but they're not. Yeah, we are actually.
They're floating. Yep. Balls are floating more than brains
That's
are.
kind of like instinctive kind of sexual urges. Yeah. So in a way.
Isn't that what's powering all of us, Mickey?
In a way, yeah. Because
you, to be fair.
Oh, no, not me at all. Say, well, I am like my...
It's not your brain either. No. What the fuck is it?
I don't know.
Is it your liver?
I don't know.
I think that's all that's keeping you going, isn't it?
Fuck, I just don't
know. The liver
is
the captain of the ship for you.
Totally. No, we are floating. Just watch.
We're not floating though, are we? Like the brains aren't floating
because they've like found a way to get themselves into a position where they can see stuff and
In your head was evolution like a brain flopping around on the floor like this won't do.
Well, yeah.
And we need. I'll tell you what, Frank. This is awful on the floor.
How much I needed in terms of biological equipment.
I'm covered in sand.
I can't even see anything. I need some eyes.
What's seeing?
I've only got a mouth, it seems.
Yeah. So you think brains flopped out of the sea
in a
and
way
then gradually turned?
In a way they did.
In a way
they did. Yeah.
In a way, I do. Like I'm a big fan of the old cannabis myself. So like there are like certain like nights where I will have indulged and I will sit and have a little think about. The one that blows my mind is what was like the first thought. When was the first thought? When did that happen? When did it go from like a blob of summit? Then it became alive at some point somehow.
Yeah.
And then it went from there to thinking shit.
Yeah.
What were those stages?
I know. Do you know what? We'll come back to that.
Oh, yeah.
Also, what another first as well. We came from the sea.
Yeah.
Right? So which was the first one to go flop itself onto land?
I'm going out, lads!
Yeah, just go, do you know what? I think I can make a go. I'm going to make a go of this. How did it's equipped to live in the sea? Yeah. How's it got it? It must have happened slowly, like
I reckon there'll have been like an amphibian phase. I don't think there was like a fish that just like walked out with like a fucking top hat and a briefcase. Like I'm off to make my home on land.
I am a money magnet and I am ready.
Namaste.
To face the land. Yeah.
My affirmation is I can walk on land. I can. No. So like I reckon it'll be like there'll be like fish that can like breathe air like a bit, and that will have like flopped out a bit onto the water and then gone back in, like will have been like amphibian.
And then like gone back to the mates and then you'll never guess what the fuck is up there, man.
It is fucking mad.
It's wild, mate.
Right, they've got these like big brown bits with all green shit coming off.
They haven't got a word for dry. They don't know what dry is.
Yeah,
it's just like
the air's really thin.
All this stuff around us isn't even there. It's weird. What do you mean? It's weird, man.
But like, yeah, so they must have like had that
go up yourself, have a look.
Intermediate amphibian phase, and then they'll have eventually just stayed up there and just be like, you know what, I ain't even fucking going back in.
Well, the competition for food is a lot easier out there.
Well, if you're the first one out, exactly, and there's only plants,
and you're nibbling on plants and stuff.
Yeah, you're fucking golden. It's an absolute plant bonanza, isn't it?
Yeah, but think about it. There's not even any insects, is there?
Oh shit! No, yeah, there's no insects at all. There's nothing.
Like, there's nothing.
It's just
bacteria covered the land, mate. I think we would have had maybe plants. I don't know.
Yeah, there would have been plants. There was plants way before animals.
The first things that moved around were like they hovered on the seabed,
right?
And the skeletons of them
So I just pictured like a fucking hovercraft that goes across the channel, like one of them had sunk.
Yeah, no, they obviously you had a competitive advantage if you could move.
Yeah.
And then once one thing starts moving and going for it,
everything's got to move.
Everything goes, well, this is the new, this is the new
normal
thing. This is the new normal.
Have you seen Alan? He's fucking moving. Where you off, Alan?
How is it going?
Alan, get back here, you fucking... Are we all going to have to start doing this now?
One of them just goes, oh my God, it's not dark. I've got the things on the... have you got these things in the front of your face? They're like... It's not dark anymore. I can see you, Alan. You look weird as fuck. You're slimy.
Do you reckon it was like when? Have you seen those viral videos of like people getting those colourblind glasses and they can see colours for the first time? They make me cry every time.
What was the first thing to see?
This is
there
it.
You
man.
go. You talk about first thought, which might have kind of like maybe. It coincided with
the first thought was, what the fuck?
Yeah, just like, wow. Everything's really blue and wet.
But like, I don't think the first sight was that good. I reckon it'll have been like, it could just differentiate between light and dark.
Probably, It happens slowly on an evolutionary process.
Millions of years.
When people say, I believe that God invented human beings, and we're like, that's ridiculous. But then again, when you go, no, that evolution, something plopped out onto land, we evolved from monkeys. It starts getting a bit, you always say, this is just as fucking fantastical, isn't it?
No, it's not as fantastical as the mystical sky fairy created us out of dust.
Fair play.
There's a bit more of a progression. I mean, and people smarter than us would explain it properly. It's the thing. People do know these gaps that we're talking about.
Yeah, well, maybe someone just got washed up on land.
Yeah, that's it. Like, man,
and it was like this line on the beach going.
It's like, because I don't think.
I'm getting into. I'm making a go of this. But
this is all right.
But then it needs a mate and someone to mate with. Yeah. Maybe two of them washed up.
Nah, but if you're the first fish to go on land, it's if you can't go get some mad fish pussy when you go back in the ocean. You go back in with that story. Like,
stories,
astronauts are getting sucked off left, right, and centre, mate. That is a fish astronaut, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's
really
fucking
is.
Neil Armstrong.
Do you reckon
one small flop for fish.
Yeah.
He's a fucking pioneer. Who doesn't want to nosh off a fucking maverick?
Yeah, man. They are getting some big fish pussy. Yeah, that is going down, man.
Yeah.
I suppose, like, they would get away. You'd be swimming away from a predator, and then you go on land, and you think there's no predators here. This is easy.
Yeah.
But how do you make a go of it? How do you make your kids?
How do you make a go of it?
How do you make a go of it?
He's going to go fucking get a job in insurance.
Yeah, how's he like? Go over to kids and go, listen, I think we're going to move on to land here. So we can't walk down. And how do you move on land? You're just flopping like that. Like you've seen fish flopping about.
No, but like it'll be like it's much more gradual. It's not one guy making this decision to move his family like you've pictured. Like he's getting in his fucking
this
truck.
Whole school of fish.
He's got a little fucking U-Haul wagon off the back of his car.
Just go out wherever you want. It's like the Americans going across the West, isn't it? This is our land now.
It'll have been right. There'll have been a bit of food on the beach.
What are you going to eat out here?
And a bit of like plant or whatever that they've been washed up and then they've flopped towards. And then the ones who had flippers that were better at moving across the land had an advantage getting to that food. And then they gradually become legs.
That's actually quite good. That.
Yeah, that's my theory.
I wonder what the food was though.
Must have just been like kale. Probably.
Yeah.
Like going back in like there's these new things called superfoods, right? You need to get them. Honestly, I've had kale.
Diet, it's so restricted in here.
Yeah.
Out there, the superfoods like kale.
You can't just eat yoga. Right, remember your affirmation. I am flopping up that beach.
Keep flopping. Flop till you drop, guys.
Honestly, I'm hoping that there's some sesame seeds and blueberries up there to really complete me macronutrients.
With some yogurt, some dairy-free yogurt.
You need a bit of Icelandic skyr. It's good for protein. Yeah, it definitely wasn't like a quick thing.
No. I mean, that what you just said makes sense. That they were flopping to one of them went, fucking, I'm going to get flopping here.
Yeah.
But what is it that drives the evolutionary process? The unknown.
It's just like instinct, isn't it, to just like pass on genes and just the shagging at its most base level. It's just that instinct to like survive. I don't know, something in DNA wants to survive, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's strange. It's strange.
It is strange, yeah.
What drives that kind of? We all come from the one time life happened on Earth. The one time. They reckon it was like in the a kind of like pondy, kind of soupy, kind of.
It's got to be soupy. It's got to be pretty soupy.
And they reckon it could have been lightning.
Right.
The lightning struck the pond.
like fucking Frankenstein's monster. It's alive! And this little fucking germs.
It's a floating brain. Just for, oh my God, we need to go back. Turn the clock back.
You got to bring me a body.